it's Nell, and today I'm going to talk about a mint that I love. And I'm so glad that I picked one up at the Tucson Farmers Market because it is Mojito Mint. So, is that just a marketing ploy? Stick around because I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I wanted to do a video about this mint. And 1 is the name and the history. 2 is because it's in a 4-inch pot and I live in the desert. I'm tired of watering it twice a day. And 3, we have a really big storm coming in tonight. Into tomorrow, we haven't had rain in a while, and it's the perfect time to plant mint before the storm hits. It's nice to have it overcast because there's so much sun here. It's bright for filming. So that's another reason why I wanted to take advantage of it. Mojito Mint actually was brought from Cuba, where the mojito originated. And it is used along with yerba buena, which is also in the mint family. I don't think they're used together. Some bars probably use yerba buena down there and some use the mojito mint. And they're in the same family. I don't know if I said that. Maybe I did. But they have, this mint has more of a mild, almost a citrus flavor. So it's similar in taste to the yerba buena as opposed to the spearmint, which is a strong flavor. Up until about 2005 or 2006, it was really hard to get outside of Cuba. But it was brought into North America in either 2005, 2006, and it has been available in growing numbers from then on, and now it's pretty common. I think a lot of people buy it just because of the name Mojito Mint. But it really is not a marketing ploy. It's what was used for mojitos in Havana. And this mint has a large leaf. That's what makes it nice to use in the mojitos because you muddle it. Nice big leaf. These are a little bit smaller because this is just dying to get out of this pot. The roots are coming out. Mint has a very extensive root system, which is going to lead me right into the planting. I have done a full blog post and video on mint, so I'm going to leave the link to that in the description box down below because I'm just going to hit on a few key points here, not the whole blah blah about mint, because I've already done that. So what's important for the soil for mint is that it's a rich soil, a loamy soil, but it also needs to drain well. It needs to stay moist because mint does not like to go dry, but it also needs to drain. So I have a mixture of potting soil, planting mix, and compost in there. It's it's approximately 1 part potting soil, 1 part planting mix, to about 1/4 part compost. Because the compost I'm using is a local compost. It's very rich and very strong. But the planting mix and the compost are going to help it to hold the moisture more because in the desert things dry out pretty fast here. So I already have some of that mixture in here, and I'm going to pull this apart gently, ever so gracefully, and I'm going to mix this all up a little bit more in here, and it needs just a little more topping off. And I have it in a spot that gets morning sun. Now it is going into September. It's in September, so in the summer I'm not going to be able to have this pot here because it's going to be way too hot. Because mint needs, especially afternoon protection from the sun, so you can have it in the morning sun. If you're someplace like, I don't know, San Francisco or someplace where the sun isn't as strong and it doesn't shine all that much in the summertime. It tends to be a little bit more cloudy. I know, I lived there for 20 years. Then it's fine in a full sunny area. So as you can see, there's some perlite in there. That's going to, amend the drainage. I watered the mix I have in here because, as I just said, I want it to be a moist mix, and I put this shoot out here because I don't want it to root into the Asiatic jasmine. Now I know it is probably going to grow and spread and root, of course, but I will be moving this pot. Actually, I probably won't move this pot because it's going to get heavy. I will probably get a fiberglass pot that I can move it back and forth. I watered the mix I have in here because, as I just said, I want it to be a moist mix. And I put this shoot out here because I don't want it to root into the Asiatic jasmine. Now I know it is probably going to grow and spread and root, of course, but I will be moving this pot. Actually, I probably won't move this pot because it's going to get heavy. I will probably get a fiberglass pot that I can move it back and forth. And this is worm castings. I was going to say I should have tried to open it before I started the film. So I'm going to put some of the worm castings in here. And I put a nice dose, generous dose of the compost in here. Just going to dump this around. Another important thing to know about mint is that it's best to try to keep it contained. It spreads like crazy. Now this particular mint gets about 2 feet tall, and it can spread much more than that, so that's why I'm doing it in a container. Mint does well in containers. Just don't put it in too small of a container because you'll be watering it all the time and it's going to outgrow it really fast. By the way, in the blog post that goes along with this video, I'm going to put 5 or so Mojito recipes that I found. A classic one, and then probably some that have a twist, like with ginger or pomegranate or orange. Yeah, I'm going to find some drink recipes to put on there for you, so be sure and check the post. Okay, so I have thoroughly watered it in. I know it looks a little sad, but don't you worry. You know, we're like, oh, what's that tiny little plant doing in that big old pot? But it just gives it a lot of room to grow in, which is what mint needs, because it is a crazy spreader. Just a nice little dose of the worm castings on the top. Now I'm going to go get some more of that nice compost, and that's what I'm going to top this off with, and this mint is going to be happy, and so am I. Oops, the wind is really picking up. That's a sign. It's going to rain very soon. Okay, so I'm going to give it another watering. So I want to see how much it's going to go down. Oh, look at that, just drinking away. And here's that wonderful compost. As you can see, it's very dark. I don't want to use too much of it because it's a really rich compost, so I just want maybe just about 1/4 inch of this on the top. Just going to help to enrich the soil, and it's also going to help to hold some of the moisture in that I want to stay in. Alrighty, one more watering. Uh-oh, I'm starting to feel some raindrops. Oh, got you planted just in time, Mint. Aren't you happy? Now this pot that I put it into is a 14-inch pot, and when I go to transplant it in about 7 months, I'm going to probably put it in at least a 17-inch pot because this mint will spread to 2 feet. And you want to give your mint plenty of room to grow. A quick recap about this mint that I really, really like. Yes, it was brought from Cuba, and it is Mojito Mint, and it has a flavor that's milder than spearmint. Like all mints, it likes a nice rich soil. It likes to stay evenly moist, but it's not a bog plant, so you want to make sure that it drains well, spreads like crazy. It is vigorous, vigorous, vigorous. It likes a nice, rich, organic soil. Sun, it likes sun if it's cool sun. So like where I'm in Tucson, I will give it a few hours of morning sun, and then it's going to be in bright afternoon shade. Otherwise, it will burn. It will. And there's a blog post with a full blog post on mint in general, because, you know, it's a mint, it's the same thing. And there's also going to be some mojito recipes for you in this blog. The link to this blog will be right up here and also down in the description box down below. I wanted to move over here under the protection of the grapefruit tree because it's starting to sprinkle. Oh, by the way, this mint, Mojito Mint, can be used in other things just besides the drink. I love it in my water with lemon and water. It's also great in fruit salads. It's good in like spring rolls, Asian foods. It's a great mint, and it is versatile, but it does go beyond the cocktail. So I hope you have found this video to be helpful and inspires you to go out and get some Mojito Mint of your own. There are places where you can order it online too, or you can start it from seed if you're into that. And thank you for all your likes, your subscribes, and your comments. I appreciate them. Now let's get out in the garden and make the world a more beautiful place. As always, I thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.